Hello, good day. This is Roger Defoe from R&D Software. I'll be continuing on the VBA submodule of the course, and I'll be dealing with dynamic ranges and tables. Okay, and well, also fixed ranges as well. I am going to be generating a table using artificial intelligence. Okay, for this particular example. So while Claude's doing that, we will go towards our spreadsheet. And I will create another sheet in the meantime. Okay. Let's put out our red color. And this is input table. The accounting Claude. Right? 7. You know what that is for. I want to go back to our Claude instance. We're still processing it. And what I'll be doing now, it's writing a simple VBA script, because I told you in prior lessons, it is possible to use the macro recorder as well. Okay. So bearing that in mind, hopefully code should be done now. Okay, done as expected. I'll just download it. Okay. Let us copy and paste that. I'll paste that here. Okay, we can use our prior knowledge of importing using the Power Query. So even in this ad hoc example, what I'm going to be showing you now, it's using your prior knowledge, okay? So basically it's a mix of old school know-how plus, well, the modern equivalents. So here we'll be concentrating on doing VBA dynamic ranges and showing how the table object is better than fixed ranges. So I'll go and find that file that I just created. And import that spreadsheet. I'll load it to a table right now. Existing worksheet, let's put it here. Let us choose something a bit lower. We don't want to add it to the data model at this point. Let's see what the name of the table is. Sales transaction. Okay. What I will also do is create it as a range. So we'll be working with the same data set. Paste it here. It's supposed to be a range now. It got automatically converted to a range. Okay. So let's just change the format a bit. I use the auto format to make it a bit plain vanilla. But into accounting one. Good. All right, so we could give this a name, but we don't want to do it. Just want to see the range is. Let's give it something a bit easier to work with. Okay, sure. So what I want to do is write a simple subroutine in the VBA tab, okay, under developer, and then just illustrate in a simple way, although it's relatively large data set, that the dynamic nature of a table object is adaptable rather than a fixed range. Okay, so we will go to developer tab, go to one of our modules here. We'll insert a new module. The prefix bus is just old school's prefix stating it's a module, so I'm just sticking with that. Just need to put in the quotes, comments. What are we doing now? We're just setting up the variables. When you deal with an object, you need to be let to know as such. Okay, CC. We'll just copy and paste it versus the A6 to 8000 to R 1006. It's to R 1006. What I'm going to do now is to do another trivial, well, example in terms of range management, right? So range, in fact, you have things an object can put it in quotes, like a thing you work with, or the components you see in the user interface in Excel. So range being another object. So hence the reason why we have to use a set once we identify the object we're working with, and then we assign the range that we want to work with. I want to give it a name programmatically. So I am going to select this. Then I'm going to give it a name. Then I'm going to assign it the name. Okay, okay, we know it's cloud usage, so I have to counting data ad hoc demo. We go something like that. Okay. Let's see. We do something a bit interactive. Message box. The name given to the dataset generated by the AI agent Claude is, and we do our ampersand, give it a space, then we assign ACCING data Claude dot name. Okay. All right, so let us run that as the test. All right. Okay, it's giving you the range now, but that's what we would work with. We'll just attach this to a button. And just to keep it simple, we'll put the button above the table. So we'll go developer, insert button. We will add in where is this one here? Right, so yeah. And we can just test that. Okay, all right, so we also will be working with the previous one that we generated as a table object. Okay, what I've done, I went ahead and I created another trivial subroutine. Okay. Just 1 minute here. Okay, and the previous table that we had done, and we can test and look in real time and see. Okay. We'll just be moving on to our table. Get up the code that we want to test. Cycle through F8. And this is the one in question. I just see it highlighted. So in this sort of test, I'll just finish this off here. We want to add another record, okay? So we'll do this manually. Let's go to the bottom quickly. Control and down arrow. This is just a warning by Claude. Gotta ensure that you notify people that the synthetic data. Okay, just delete that. Okay, so and I'll just delete that. Put in a few more rows. Okay, so what we want to do is just key in some words. And you see it's adjusting. I'll just do lorem ipsum. All right, so ABC, we're just making up some characters. RD. All right, so just make up some random figures. The 125.89 to 3589.69. Made that 5,000. Right, so okay, we got a random number generator here. Move that across. But you see the idea behind it now, that it I'm just thinking, it adapts because it's a table. So what we want to do is test our trivial code here. And as expected, it has selected the whole range. Right, we can do visually as well as go through the name manager, okay? So let us check and see where it's at. And it stopped off at row 1008. Okay, so let us go down there, and it stopped off at 1008. If we were to go to our table and we did something like that, okay, where I will just basically copy it, go down to the bottom, paste it as a plain value, make sure it has no intervening rows, and we go to our trivial VBA code. We go through the initial program we wrote. Okay. Right, and you see it's still there at 1006. We look for the name. Let us go through our name manager. Okay. We want to have RNG. RNG Claude. And they're both stopping off at 1006. And the name is Test Accounting Data. So let's look for that here. But we know it's going to stop off at 1006. So when the program selects that, it's going to stop there. Okay, because it got hard coded. Right. So in the follow-up video, what I'll be showing it using the Power Query to pull in data. And it's going to be a long, well, that's how the code would work. It's going to be quite long. All right. Right, so I was just looking for an example that was done before. In fact, I can do it like now, and then we'll just expand on it more. So let's just say I'm going to pull in some information from our database that we have been using throughout the course. I know I've got connections here, but I'll just do it again. Let's pull in the FactGL with adjustments and load it to the data model. It's over the row limit in the spreadsheet. So we will put it onto the existing sheet at A1. Let's press escape to cancel. We'll just do that again. RSS underscore training. Select and choose. Ensure that you select the checkbox add to data model and a connection only. Load to. Just double check. Create connection. And where do you want to put it? Well, it's got grayed out with that one Sony connection. So, all right, that's what you have to check, double check, triple check. And once we're happy with that and reconfirm, because we don't have to be forced to be redoing things unnecessarily. So this will take some time. So pause the video for a bit. Right, so we have completed that load up. So what we want to do is go back to our Visual Basic editor and find where we will be putting our information, okay? So as it's going to be a recorded one, we want us to have a choice to do that, all right? So let's do the recording now. So I go to Developer tab and we click Record Macro. We'll give it a name. Power Query Data Import. RSS underscore training. Right, so let's keep it with the capitalization when I'm trying not to mix things up too much. Description, importation of data set from Postgres SQL database. RSS_training. Okay, that's done there. So we will do our importation now with our normal process. We'll go through our ODBC connection in this scenario. Choose RSS training, the database in question. And we do it again. Okay. Right. So let us go now. Developer tab, stop recording, and open that up. Okay. We'll choose this one because what we worked into. We'll click step into. Okay. And we're seeing the module it's got attached to. All right. Great. So just taking a look at it. It's quite a lot. And if you had to do that manually, I guess it's possible. But nowadays, it just focus more on understanding, being able to read your code, because you can ask AI to do something like this, and then you also got the macro recorder. So, all right, so there's really that much benefit from memorizing stuff, but feel free to do it. All right, so and just more feather in your cap. So I'll just take you through what it's saying. Application cut copy mode, well, that's off. The workbook queries, add the name of that, it's the in our database, right? Then well, it gives a formula, well, I guess characters and what have you, but that's internal to the construct. Okay, the source, it tells you the ODBC, the data source rs_training, other salient information. Then it's quite lengthy, tells you the schema and other relevant information. So yeah, you're better off just using the macro recorder and just understand what is done. Okay, it tells you it's a table. So even just being able to read and understand, and that's why it's always good to give your things useful names and comment out your information. Okay, and adding query connection to. Good. Right. So that's essentially it. Right, so we'll be stopping here, and then any other further information we've done in a follow-up video. Okay, and then as per normal with your macros, you can call that from other programs, so you can leave it here and use it elsewhere. Okay, right, so what I'd like to do is just attach a button for this, and you refresh the connection. Okay, maybe just add a quick pivot table to it and do a button refresh. So I'll do that in a follow-up video. Thank you very much.